go. Hello, you wonderful humans. Thank you for being here. It's Wednesday. It's 7 o'clock. That means it's time for another Wednesday weekly workshop where you get to ask Drew anything for the 133rd time. Woo. Hi, I'm Drew. I'm the owner here at 3D Wellness. I'm also a clinician in his 17th year of helping people resolve health challenges safely and naturally. But you know what? I can't do this work alone. So I'm joined by the incomparable Two Boots Laura LeClaire.
And we welcome the new year of 2026.
And we want to answer some questions for you. So starting right now, start asking them. So we can get you some answers. If this is your first time joining us, we are very glad you're here. The way these go. The entire time that we are live streaming, Lori is watching the chat. So everybody in YouTube land, you can start chatting in those questions right away. Lori will read them off to me. I'll use our dry erase board, who's lovingly called Mr. Doodles, to help answer those questions. If you're watching this after the fact on Instagram, I need your help. We need to get 1,000 followers on Instagram in order to go back to streaming live on Instagram. We streamed live on Instagram for like, what, a year and a half?
Yes.
Then they changed their policy about it. We're at 251 followers on Instagram. It would mean the world to us to hit that 1,000 mark. We want that to happen in 2026. So please share our content with people. Tell your friends. We're not obnoxious with content. We're not going to mail bomb them all the time. If you don't want to chat in your question on YouTube, you can just give us a call. The phones work here. And because I have to pay the bill, whether or not you call, you might as well call. We got butts and seats. We love having butts and seats. Thank you for being here. I want to talk about things that have gone on in the last 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since we've done one of these.
Oh.
We missed it. We missed you. We're happy to have you here. After that, I'm going to start answering all the questions. We might jump into some of them that were in the question box in the lobby.
Yeah.
Here's what's been going on these last few weeks. I've been reading a lot of studies. First, there was a study where they took human bacteria, so good bacteria from a human's gut. You probably know the term probiotic. They put it into mice, and what they found was that the mice started to behave like primates. This is a really cool study, because basically what it confirms for us is the gut-brain axis. That how well our gut is doing and what is happening inside of our gut will influence our brain. When bacteria from humans was put into mice, they started to behave differently. They started to behave more like primates. Very interesting. There's a book that's called Gut and Psychology Syndrome, or GAPS for short. A really brilliant author wrote it. I think her name's Natasha. I always mix up her last name. Really brilliant. If you want to read more about how your digestive health affects your mental health, GAPS is where I would point you. Another study, I like this one. The study found that one mango a day, resulted in better sugar levels in people who were pre-diabetic. Now that's usually very exciting for me to see, oh, hey, here's a study about a food that can help a condition like prediabetes. But I do my diligence, and I read through the article, I read through the study, and then I get to the part where it talks about how the study was facilitated. And one of the largest mango distributors in the world funded this study. Shocking that somebody selling mangoes would find that mangoes are good for you. So even with a good news study, hey, this sounds like this food could help something. Pull on the string a little bit, everybody, okay? See who's paying for the study. Because if the person's selling you the thing that the study found is good, I'm less inclined to think that that's all like straight and above the table. This was frustrating. 1 million gallons, not a typo, 1 million gallons of sulfuric acid got dumped in Houston. There's a lot of industry at Houston. They're right on the coast down there in Texas. just like a huge, huge spill of sulfuric acid. It's messing with the ecosystem down there. It was messing with the rain down there. It's a big problem. There has got to be something done to decrease how bad things go. I don't know if it means that they only have 500,000 gallons of sulfuric acid in any place at any time, or I'm not sure what the answer is. But just like East Palestine, when they had the vinyl chloride dump there, this is another one of those things. It's not just bad for business, it's hurting the environment. It's messing with the humans and the living things in that area. And this study, this is the good news one. Always try to end on good news. There was a study on Alzheimer's. Turns out it can be reversed. They found that cellular energy was the biggest deal, specifically a compound called NAD. Now, I say this because it's really exciting. We could help a lot of people with some major brain problems. And I love that idea. Please be careful, because anybody who says they're focused on helping your cellular energy might just be puffing up what they do and they're not really doing anything that fancy. You got to ask them, how are you measuring the change in my cellular energy? How do we measure that before you jump into addressing that sort of thing? And last but not least, we love having kiddos around the office here. They love some artwork. It's pink, so would that be a ruby then? Maybe?
Yeah.
And then a lovely little kitty cat. It's a very striped little kitty cat.
Oh, meow.
We love having that stuff around here.
Very cute.
All right, so those were these weeks. Aside from just generally helping the population, and Lori and I went around in our office building here. There are 3 other suites that we went to.
Oh, yes.
We delivered a little Merry Christmas basket kind of thing, did some caroling around the office. It was pretty ridiculous and fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Received very well, even though we messed up the words and sung out of tune. It was fun.
So much fun. All right. Questions rolling in, Lori.
Well, what I'd like to do is pick up where we left off back on the last live stream.
Sure.
Zara was asking you questions about your professional training offerings here at 3D Wellness.
Yeah. Okay.
And she asked another question at the very end. We were already closing out, so yeah. I thought I would bring up her question again. Hopefully she's listening tonight. She wanted to also know, what do you think of remote NRT, or nutritional response testing?
Ooh, very good question. So this actually leads me into a quick little promo.
Yeah.
What's the date on Saturday, Lori?
The date?
Yeah.
The 10th?
The 10th?
Yeah.
All right, so just so everybody knows, January 10th, here at 3D at 10 a.m., the presentation that I'm giving is called Muscle Testing Explained.
This is by far one of my favorites.
Oh, right on.
Favorite topics.
It's free. Anybody can attend. It's not just for clinicians. Seems like we have a pretty good amount of interest going already. People wanting to attend this one. I really like muscle testing. I'm also incredibly critical of muscle testing because a lot of people muscle test very poorly, and then they give people like me a bad name. One of my favorite parts of muscle testing is that we are getting hands-on with people. And I think part of the reason that muscle testing benefits people is because when they say, I have a pain here, and then you put your hand on that area and you muscle test it, you help them connect with that area of their body. And so often people are just disconnected from their body. I'm not sure what's going on with my body. It didn't feel good, so I stopped paying attention to it because I didn't want to feel the thing that didn't feel good. I'm getting some chuckles here, which tells me I'm probably onto something with my theory. Which brings me to answering Zara's question. Okay. When it comes to muscle testing, I want you in the room with me. I want whatever substance we're checking, whether it's a supplement or a food or a beauty care item, whatever the substance, I I want that in the room also. Because without those things in the room, we get into the realm of quantum physics. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in depth on Saturday, but I'll give you a real cheap and quick version. As physicists study the known universe more and more, what they're finding is that they know very little about it. What they're finding is that it's most likely that we are all one and that we don't exist. So now that none of us are confused, I can go on with my lecture. So it gets really confusing. So the idea of quantum physics, there's a lot of ideas to quantum physics, and I am no expert, is that the difference between this table that you can very clearly hear and these rocks and me and Lori and you watching this, that the difference in the density of us is such a small difference that it's almost immeasurable. So what people say all the time is, of course you can muscle test someone or something that isn't physically in the room with you, because according to quantum physics, we are all one. So if you just focus on the thing you want to test, if you're just like really there mentally, it's just as good as it being in the room. Because I'm no expert in quantum physics, I don't get into that. I don't like to muscle test possibilities. I want a physical thing. I want the person in the room with me. I want the physical substance in the room with me for the muscle testing. I know a lot of people muscle test remotely. I've done it in the past. I don't really do it anymore. I don't like doing it. I've had success doing it, but since it's not provable, I don't want to do it because heaven forbid something bad should occur. What am I going to say I did? I sat in a room and concentrated on tart cherries and muscle tested it for the person who was in Florida? No way. I'm in too much hot water. Did I answer the question?
We'll find out.
Okay. Yeah, Zara, let us know. Muscle testing, I want that physical interaction.
I just want to clarify, that's not to say we don't accept clients that are remote. You still can help them. And I just don't want people to get that the notion that we can't still recommend.
Do you remember the count? Was it 15 or 17 different states that we have clients in?
Oh, I don't remember the count.
Okay. It's a pretty good list though.
Yeah.
Because we work with people out of state. I don't have to muscle test you for you to be a client of ours. We can do the hair analysis, just hearing you talk about what's going on with you.
And all your clinical experience, you just basically nail it.
Thank you. I feel a little bit like a walking dictionary for nutrition.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if I can remember them real quick. Tell me if I repeat something, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Massachusetts, New York, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Washington State, Hawaii, Arizona, Texas. I feel like there's more. Can you think of any, Lori?
What about, did you say Minnesota?
Yeah. I said Michigan.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Michigan. Yeah.
I've had clients in other states and I'm not working with, like Oklahoma. I keep thinking of, but I don't work with Chad anymore.
Yeah, I think that about covers it.
I feel like I'm missing one. I feel like it's real obvious. Utah. It's because it's Utah. Thank you. 15. So 15 different states that we have clients in. That's kind of cool. Outside of Wisconsin. So 16 technically. Yeah. And I like that we got Hawaii checked off. That was fun. But convenient when you know someone from Wisconsin who moves to Hawaii. That helps. Other questions rolling in.
Oh, yes. Okay. So our next question comes from Suzer.
Yeah.
She thinks she may have the flu for the last 2 days. And she's wondering what would be the best protocol for feeling nauseous and having a bad headache and no energy, since the flu shot is not an option.
Okay. Let's talk flu. All right, so when the flu is going on, you usually feel pretty run down. It can hit you respiratory-wise. It can hit your digestive tract also. Not a lot of fun. So let's go through some of the symptoms that Suzer listed off. I heard nausea in there.
Yep.
One of
Bad headache.
Yeah. So for nausea, beta food is one of my all-time favorites. Another one is going to be Cataplex B2. Those are two of my favorites for nausea. Beta food helps the gallbladder to function. Often nausea is because our gallbladder is overwhelmed or is just lacking the nourishment it needs to function ideally. Cataplex B2 is a certain group of B vitamins. They do a lot of things for us. One of the things they do is they help our liver function the right way. And when we're nauseous, if we take care of our gallbladder and our liver, it's very likely we will become less nauseous. The headache. I like to get specific about what part of your head is aching, but I also know that Antranex is really wonderful for headaches when the flu is involved. Flu is caused by a virus. Antranex is really good at helping your body get rid of viral material. So if we're dealing with a virus and one of the symptoms we have of that is a headache, I'm going to recommend Antranex for that. I heard fatigue. I heard tired.
No energy is what she said.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to call that fatigue.
Okay.
And what I want you to get is either adrenal complex or adrenal tonic. They both contain licorice. Licorice is really good for our adrenal health so that we get some energy. Also helps us reduce inflammation. The other thing that licorice is really good for is all of our mucosal membranes. Our eyes, our ears, our nose, our throat, our lungs, our digestive tract, our reproductive organs. All of these are mucosal membranes. And when we take some licorice in, we're getting nutrients to help their functioning. That can also help us expel that viral material while giving us some energy so we're not as fatigued. Let's go through some doses. Beta food for most people, they need between 3 and 6 a day. Cataplex B2, they usually need between 3 and 6 a day. Antranex, it really depends on how bad your headache is. I've had clients go all the way up to 15 if their headache was bad. I'm thinking of Kate, who was in here, and she was taking headache prescription stuff, and it wasn't touching her headache. She was rocking Antranex, and when she got high dose Antranex, that's when the headache finally broke. If it's adrenal complex, it's just 1 or 2 a day. If it's adrenal tonic, it's just 1 or 2 teaspoons a day. That's what I would do during the flu for these symptoms. Again, specific to these symptoms are happening during the flu.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's a good question.
Before I ask the next question, I was wondering if we could give Mr. Doodles a little color.
Little color?
Yeah. With the lights.
Thank you.
Yeah. You gotta make Mr. Doodles
brighten
shine. There you go.
I didn't spend $24 at Ace Hardware 3 years ago to not have these lights on.
All right, moving on. Next question?
Yeah, please.
Okay. This is from Barb.
Yeah.
And this is a question she's asking on behalf of her husband, Kelly. He is wondering how a fungus can affect circulation that may cause foot swelling.
Okay. Let's talk fungus. Hold on, I'm remembering something. Barb said there were certain colors that didn't show up well on her computer screen. I think blue was good. All right, so fungus, fungal infections in the body. When I say the word fungus for the rest of the time, I'm talking about mold and I'm talking about yeast also. They're not all exactly the same thing, but in terms of how we help the body deal with them, there's a lot of overlap. So I'm going to talk about these. They are interchangeable for the rest of this spiel.
Okay.
So how could this mess with the circulatory system? A couple of different ways. It is very pro-inflammation, pro-inflammatory. Lori, are there 2 M's in?
Yes.
Thank you. It's very pro-inflammatory. When we're dealing with a fungal issue, it's interfering with your immune system in such a way that the way your immune system likes to help with fighting inflammation becomes compromised. It's distracted by the fungal issue that's going on. So that alone would be enough to mess with vascular tissue also. When our immune system goes to fight anything in the fungal realm, it will spend quite a bit of vitamin C, it'll spend calcium, it'll spend zinc. All of those nutrients are heavily involved in the way the immune system works. They're also involved in how our circulatory system works. So think about it like resources. If I have 2 pieces of vitamin C and 2 pieces of calcium and 2 pieces of zinc, and usually my circulatory system gets 1 piece of each, but now I have a fungal issue that's requiring 2 pieces of each, there's none of this stuff left over for my circulatory system. We're talking about nutrients, so it's not like your heart is going to stop beating. It's not like your veins and arteries are going to stop flowing blood. It's not like that. We're just going to see that they aren't performing at the same high level as they usually are, or we'll start to get some symptoms with it. So fungus, because it messes with your immune system and is pro-inflammatory, can compromise the circulatory system. Sound like a good answer?
Sounds like a good answer to me.
Cool. We got more butts and seats?
Yep.
Nice.
One's coming in.
Love having butts and seats.
Come on.
It's kind of our thing.
All right.
Welcome.
Oh, we got another question rolling in here.
Good. That's what we're here for.
Oh, Matt Leatherwood Jr. Okay. Recommendation for a female gym athlete over the age of 50 who experiences muscle fatigue and soreness, slower tissue repair, and heightened inflammation.
I got you. Let's do this. All right. Let's go through some stats. I heard female. I heard 50. I heard gym goer. Did I hear all that right, Lori?
Yes.
Awesome. And then we're talking about muscle repair. We're talking about muscle energy. Did I catch all that?
Muscle fatigue and soreness, slower tissue repair, and heightened inflammation.
Yeah, okay. Write down inflame so I remember. All right, first things first. Kudos to anybody who's 50 and older hitting the gym. Oh, I loved it. I love it. All right, first thing I want you to do, look at some Cataplex B Core. I realized I am so bad about saying this. Every supplement that I reference on any of these live streams is available in our online store. The link is in the description of pretty much every one of our YouTube videos. It makes it really easy. It ships right to your door. Okay. Cataplex B Core. It's a B complex, but it's unique because it is especially rich in vitamin B1 and vitamin B4. When you Google vitamin B4, you're not going to find a lot on it because this particular vitamin you cannot synthesize in a laboratory. You can't make it with a chemistry set. You can only get it from foods. That vitamin is essential for muscle function, muscle repair, muscle performance. Fortunately, the foods that are in Cataplex B Core are rich in those 2 nutrients. Most people need 4 to 6 of them a day. Before I exercise, I like to take 4 of them all at once and actually chew them. I swear they kick harder when you chew them. I've had other people tell me that too. They don't really taste that bad. Have you chewed them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like beets.
Like beets? Have you
You
chewed
know,
them?
when I put them in my mouth, I always feel like it tastes like chocolate at first.
Wow.
At first. I've never chewed it though.
Deficient.
Give me some of that. Have you ever chewed them? Oh, okay. I like to chew them. 4 to 6 a day. I save 4 of those before I go to work out. And man, I chew those and within 10 or 15 minutes, I'm kind of hopped up. Like I need that, right, Lori?
Right.
So that's going to help things like muscle energy, a little bit with the repair. The other big thing with repair is going to be collagen protein. Most people should be getting 10 to 20 grams per day. Really good protein for joint health, skin health, hair health, but also for the connective tissue, and muscle is included in connective tissue, to make sure that we're getting all those little bits and pieces so after we train, our body can recover the right way. A lot of people like to use whey protein. I'm not opposed to that. What I find when working with clients is that they are deficient in the certain ratios that collagen protein naturally provides. So I'm just trying to get you those missing pieces. And then the inflammation. For anybody who's an athlete, I know that turmeric is very popular. I got a secret weapon here for all my athletes. It's called Gotu Kola Complex. Wonderful little product. It's got the herb Gotu Kola in it. It's also got ginkgo in it. It's got some grapeseed extract in it. Really good for the way our blood vessels function, for the way that our body repairs itself. For inflammation, what I want to make sure is that we're getting nutrients that support ideal blood flow. Within a day or two of working out, you're probably going to work out again, and you're going to pump your blood again. If all that blood flow is really optimized with something like the Gotu Kola complex, then what we're going to see is a lot of the waste material in the muscles, the lactic acid, is going to get flushed out of there, and the inflammation levels are going to drop because of that. We need to have good blood flow in order for all of that to happen. And Gotu Kola complex has the nutrients in there that support that healthy blood flow. I had one client, I'm sorry, I was just saying I wasn't going to do any sales pitchy stuff, and this totally sounds like a sales pitch. I put her on Gotu Kola complex. I put her on 3 a day, which is a pretty normal dose, 2 to 3 a day. It wasn't for gym going stuff. She had a circulatory thing going on. She came back after a month, and she said, they shouldn't call that product Gotu Kola complex. All right. What should they call it? She says, they should call it Botox. I was like, what? And she's like, my skin hasn't looked this good in years.
Wow.
So really good for circulation. I think with that lady, it was just helping the circulation into her face and her body, and then she just felt better. Female, 50 and older, gym goer. We got to work on muscle repair, the muscle energy, and the inflammation. I would use this combination of supplements to help the body do that. Yeah.
I know you can overdo anything, but what's the upper levels of collagen before it becomes an issue?
Good question. So the question was, what's the max dose on collagen before it's a problem?
Right.
Depends on body weight and size, but the cap should really be at 6 tablespoons, even for a big person. Because at that point, it's just diminishing returns, and it's like, why are we taking more if it's not doing more?
Mm-hmm.
And glycine's all the rage as a standalone amino acid. Have you looked into any of that research?
Oh, absolutely. So he's talking about glycine. Glycine is one of the amino acids that collagen is rich in. Naturally contains glycine. The first time I researched glycine was 2007. It was in a pre-workout product. And the idea was that if you took a huge dose of glycine, you would neutralize hydrogen in your body. And in doing that, you decrease lactic acid production. Okay. Glycine standalone is fine. It works just as well, though, in collagen. And with the collagen comes additional benefits that glycine standalone doesn't have.
Yeah. It's popular on the internet again. Supposedly it helps with like bladder control at nighttime for people who struggle with that.
Yeah, that would be because glycine helps the contractile strength of the sphincters, the valves in places like the bladder.
And then there was a guy who got rid of his fine lines with megadosing glycine. He was a younger guy, so
okay,
pretty interesting stuff.
Pretty cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like my glycine from my collagen.
I think he does both, but I don't know.
The supplement that was all the rage back in like 2007-ish was called Gakic.
Okay.
Gakic. I don't think it's made anymore. And it was glycine alpha ketoglutarate, that specific form of glycine. And it had been researched at the university level. It helped with muscle fatigue and all that. I just get it from collagen nowadays. Good question. And everybody who's tuning in on here, when you ask a question, If you have additional question, chat it in.
Yes.
If I answer most of your question, I miss something, call me out on it, okay?
Mhm.
Another benefit of collagen is won't hurt your stomach as much as like the cheap whey does.
I get kicked off of YouTube because this guy.
The cheap whey always like tore my stomach up when I was younger.
Yeah, there's quite a few protein powders on the market. I'm going to go ahead and say this, and I'm going to upset people, and it doesn't really bother me. Probably 9 out of 10 protein supplements in a general supplement store are trash. They're overheated during their production. They are overly refined. And it's so far from food that sometimes when you ingest it, like you experienced, your body goes like, what is this? And then you get symptoms from it.
Yeah.
Whereas something like collagen, there's a lot less processing with it. They're not trying to strip everything out of it all the time. It's much easier because it's much closer to the food form. The food form of collagen, just so everybody knows, foods like bone broth, foods like eating chicken wings with the bone in, eating ribs, eating chicken thighs or turkey thighs, where you are eating not just the meat from the animal, but some of the connective tissue also, or you're eating some of the bone, specifically the marrow. Don't go chewing on bones and getting splinters in your body and saying, I told you to do that, because I didn't.
Is there collagen in like the skin of a chicken
Absolutely.
too, right?
It's all jelly.
Yeah.
Jelly.
The skin of the animals has a lot of collagen, just like in humans.
Yeah,
Okay.
chicken.
I'm also not saying to eat humans. Sorry. Just to be totally clear.
And is it good to eat the skin of the poultry?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so we love getting collagen from food sources like the skin of a turkey or a chicken.
Yes.
If it is a healthy turkey or chicken, eat the skin.
Okay.
Right? We want pasture raised. We want these animals eating bugs and dirt and rocks because that's what they were designed to eat. That's what they're supposed to eat.
Yeah.
If they're living in a structure that has 10,000, 100,000, a million chickens in it, that's very unlikely that it's going to be a healthy animal and that we should be eating the skin of that animal.
Mm. Okay.
So if it's a healthy bird, eat the skin.
Okay. All right. We do have some questions on the cards that I pulled from the chat box in our waiting area. I do see you pointed out one up there on the board. I didn't know if
That's
that was
still about exercises for legs, and boy, is that tough to demonstrate in this setting.
All right, then I'll ask this one.
Cool.
This one comes from Nora.
Yeah.
She would like to know, what are the most healthy breakfast foods? This comes from a kiddo.
Yeah.
And she wants to know, what is the most healthy breakfast foods?
Nice, nice, nice.
That is cool.
All right, so Nora strikes me as a pink kind of lady. Let's write in pink. So breakfast. All right, I got a real simple rule that I use for any meal. Breakfast is included in this. You're going to build your meal around protein and produce. When you build a meal around protein and produce, you are avoiding a lot of foods that are very inflammatory. You're also avoiding a lot of foods that crank up your blood sugar and then crash you out. If you're not sure what blood sugar does to your body, blood sugar is your fuel source that's just constantly circulating throughout you. If it goes real high, your body's going to say, oh, too high, I got to pull it down. And the higher it went up, the farther down your body's going to pull it. And then your fuel source, your energy level is very inconsistent. When you build the meal around protein and produce, your blood sugar might go up a little and come down a little, and that's way easier for your body to do rather than that kind of thing. Okay? Some of my favorite sources of protein at breakfast are going to be sausages. I really like the Jones brand since people like to ask. Jones makes a bunch of different kinds: turkey, chicken, pork, different flavors. They're not really into a bunch of weird additives. Eggs, wonderful, marvelous eggs. Bacon, if it's nitrate and nitrite free, those are some really good ones. Let's see, what are my other protein sources? Of course, collagen, throw some of that in there. And then always Leftover dinner protein.
How about eggs?
Yep.
Oh, there. Oh, duh.
It's all
Missed it.
good.
Oh, jeez.
We haven't done this in 3 weeks. She's a little rusty. Everybody back off, okay?
wrote
I got your
it
back too,
down
Boots.
even.
Don't worry.
Wow. I'm just a robot.
I should have
sometimes.
written it down. Oh, wait.
You know, I think what happened, I was thinking about what you were talking about, the Jones, and I just didn't, I wasn't all there.
All good. Leftover dinner protein. So you had chicken at dinner the night before, you had ribs the night before. I'm thinking of a few weeks back, my wife made chili for dinner, and then I fried up 2 eggs with the chili and put the chili over the eggs. The chili had beef in it, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
For produce, the morning is actually one of the best times for us to have fruit. Fruit tends to have more carbohydrate in it, and if we eat it earlier in the day, our body has the entire day to use it as a fuel source. That's not an excuse to eat 5 bananas, just to be clear, but fruits and veg are the way to go. So any of the berries. I really like kiwi because it's very rich in vitamin C. I like knowing that every day I get a good dose of vitamin C. And then if you're going to get into things like eggs or egg bakes, it's really easy in the veg department to mix in some spinach into all of that. And then I really like roasted veggies, like roasted beets. That's another one of those things. Maybe I made the beets for dinner the night before, and now I'm just warming them up in the air fryer again with whatever protein source. So the best breakfast stuff, the best way to build a meal is going to be protein and produce. Listed out some of my favorite sources. If you stick to that, you're more than likely going to land on your feet. You're more than likely going to do very well. That answer the question?
Yeah. I think that covers it. She did ask a secondary question.
Oh, okay.
She wants to also know, what are the most healthiest fruits, which I think you covered, and vegetables, including lychee. Am I saying that right?
Yeah,
lychee, lemon, lime, and dragon fruit. Are
cool.
those all?
Those are all really good.
Okay.
Be careful with the citrus stuff on your teeth. Don't let it hang out in your mouth too long. It can be kind of tough on the enamel or the hard part of your teeth. And then my favorite veggies, man, there aren't very many veggies that I don't like. I'm particularly fond of the radish family because of what it does for our liver, our spleen, and our gut. So that includes daikon radish, which just look like big white carrots. Spanish black radish. You know what I should do sometime? I should talk about Spanish black radish.
What is that even?
We should figure that out sometime.
Sounds interesting.
It does sound interesting. If only I knew anything about Spanish black radish. So I should figure that out sometime. Maybe I should have brought the entire stack of Spanish black. Sorry, it's one of my favorites.
Yes.
Radish is especially good. Beets are really good because they do liver and heart stuff. There's no veggie I'm really going to tell you to avoid. When you're really jonesing for some carbohydrates and you're trying to stick to this protein and produce rule, a lot of people get a little mixed up and they go, but I wanted some carbs and I had to have bread because of that. I wanted some carbs, so I had to have rice or I had to have pasta. I'm not saying that you're never going to eat bread, rice, or pasta again. Please keep in mind that fruits and veggies are also a carbohydrate source. So if you're jonesing for that stick to my ribs kind of feeling, get some sweet potato going. Sweet potato hash in the morning is really delicious. Just slicing a sweet potato and doing the roasted style is really delicious. For a while, I worked at a place where one of my coworkers would slice a sweet potato. Are any of these rocks in a good sweet potato shape? Nope, kinda. Imagine this is a sweet potato. It's a stretch, I know. You'd slice it the long way. Does that make sense? And then put scrambled eggs on top of the roasted sweet potato slice, and then eat it like that. It was delicious. It's really easy to eat. Which reminds me, I miss Alana.
A fruit that is oftentimes, I don't know where it stands on whether it's healthy or not, is a banana. You got to be careful with bananas, right?
Yeah, it's just a lot of carbs
Yeah.
in one small spot. And my deal with bananas is the parts of the world where bananas grow, they have to harvest the banana before it is fully matured on the tree. And then we're missing out on some of the nutrients because we're cutting the life cycle short. That's my concern with bananas. So when you're in Hawaii and Costa Rica, etc., Dominican Republic, eat some bananas.
Okay.
Because they are fully matured and harvested fresh.
Yeah. And I imagine that affects the potassium level then. They always say banana has so much potassium, but like you said, if it's cutting its life short, it's probably not as dense in potassium as one would think.
Yeah, and I'm nitpicking. I'm not trying to nitpick. It has the same amount of potassium.
Okay.
But the cofactors, the little helpers for potassium, that's what's missing. Oh. So it's like having a car with a full tank of gas and you don't have the key.
They work together.
Yeah, you need both to operate the car. To really benefit from the potassium, you need the potassium and the cofactors.
Yeah. All right.
Good questions.
Matthew Leatherwood Jr. is back. He's got another question for you. He says, I appreciate your ABCs of SP playlist.
Oh, cool.
And reference it often.
Nice.
Can you elaborate more on Ligaplex 2 and what it does and what it's good for?
I would be happy to. For those of you who don't know what Matthew is referencing, I have multiple playlists up on our YouTube account. One of them is 156 videos long because it has 156 videos about the standard process supplement line. There is a 1-minute video on every one of the standard process supplements that I use. I'll give you $100, anybody on the internet who can figure out which standard process supplements I don't use. You have until the end of the month to figure that out, and I'll send you a check for $100, no BS. Keep me honest, Lori, okay? I'll be seriously impressed if anybody is that dedicated to my playlist. One of the supplements on there that Standard Process makes is called Ligaplex 2. Yeah, sorry, quick little caveat. If you're a former coworker of mine and you know what I don't use, you are disqualified from the competition, okay? It's like people who work for Publisher Clearinghouse winning Publishers Clearinghouse. All right, Ligaplex 2. It is one of those wonderful combo products from Standard Process. What does that mean? It actually means that in order to make Ligaplex 2, you have to take 8 different Standard Process supplements and put all of them together. It is very rich in a mineral called manganese. Manganese is especially important for things like joint health and pituitary health. Most of our modern food supply is deficient in manganese compared to the levels in the same foods from 100 years ago. One of the reasons we'll use Ligaplex 2 is because we're just trying to make up for what our modern food supply is lacking. When Ligaplex 2 was developed, there is in fact a Ligaplex 1. Ligaplex 2 is more of a maintenance product. It's really good for athletes to help prevent injuries or anybody who does really intense physical labor. I got a client who pours concrete for the Wisconsin highway system. He has a very physical job. He is lifting heavy things. His body is always moving. He's on his feet all day. He's a mover and a shaker. Ligaplex 2 for that guy. If somebody comes in and they have an acute joint issue, I'm not going to use Ligaplex 2 because it is more for the maintenance of the athletes or the very active people. Lori, what was the question again?
Just what it does and what it's good for.
Yep.
So I think that
there you go.
You got it.
Of the 8 supplements that's in there, it gives you vitamin E, it gives you some heart support, it gives you some healthy fats, it gives you some digestive supports. So in a lot of ways, It's a maintenance product. It's also like a multivitamin for athletes and active people. Typical dose is just 1 or 2 a day. It doesn't really take a lot of Ligoplex 2 to get somebody well nourished.
The guys, is this good for old people and people can't inability to hold chiropractic adjustments? I would remember that.
Yeah, it's really good. So all my chiropractors out there, or people who struggle with holding their chiropractic adjustments, a lot of the nutrients in Ligoplex 2 can help the body hold that alignment. And if your body is in alignment, keep it there. Good question, Matthew. Matthew, were you in Arkansas when I was presenting? Would you chat if you were? I'm trying to see if I remember who you are. Other questions rolling in. Yes, sir.
Osteopenia versus osteoporosis, and are your solutions the same or different?
Ooh,
One
very good.
pre the other one?
Lori, what colors haven't I used tonight?
Don't use that orange color because that's the color that Barb said doesn't show up very well.
Out of rotation.
Okay. Thank you, Barb.
Let's go with red. All right. All right. Osteopenia, just so we're all understanding, is what happens before, if it goes unchecked, becomes osteoporosis. So what would we want to do about this? I got a short little, I think it's like 4 minutes about bone density. I want to talk about some of the things I cover in that, because osteopenia and osteoporosis are matters of bone density. There is a trinity for bones of minerals. It's calcium, it's phosphorus, and if you go to most mainstream providers in the United States of America, they're going to tell you that calcium and phosphorus are what is going to determine the health of the bones and the density of the bones. And I will agree with them and say they are missing a third of the puzzle. The third thing that we need to have in here is manganese. Same manganese we were just talking about with Ligoplex 2. Manganese is crucial for the marrow of the bone, the interior of the bone. What calcium and phosphorus do is they help regulate the exterior, the hard part of the bone. We want to make sure we're handling the exterior of the bone and the interior of the bone. When somebody comes in with osteopenia, what I start thinking about is, okay, how long have they known they've been dealing with that? And what kind of lifestyle risks do they have? People who weigh less are more prone to osteopenia, because one of the ways you can increase bone density is by stressing out your bones. I believe it's called Wolff's Law. Wolff was a doctor many, many moons ago. And what Wolff found was that if you stressed out the bones, they came back denser and stronger. They didn't lose their flexibility, they just came back denser. It's easily observed in boxers and fighters. They're using their hands all the time to punch stuff. When you see x-rays of their hands or bone density scans of their hands, they are incredibly dense bones, even though the 20 some odd bones inside of each one of our hands are relatively tiny. They can still be very dense. I'm using calcium and phosphorus and manganese in either of these circumstances. The difference is how long has this been going on and what lifestyle factors are at risk to determine how much of a response do I have to have, how aggressive do I have to be. Really common combination for osteopenia and osteoporosis is going to be ostrophin PMG, calcifood. So ostrophin is going to give us some manganese. Calcifood is going to give us calcium and phosphorus. And then I got a secret weapon. I use a good dose of a supplement called Cataplex C. It's very rich in vitamin C. It's also very rich in bone nutrients. It supports circulation throughout the body. So it's going to help deliver nutrients to our bone as well. Yeah. It's one of my favorite combos for that. Yeah, I've worked on a handful of cases of osteopenia and osteoporosis. I've seen worsening osteoporosis halt its progression. And that was awesome because that client had been told by their doctor that there was nothing they could do to help it. And then on subsequent scans, the annual scan, we saw that the bone loss had stopped. Cool. Very cool.
Is it reverse, or can you not legally say?
I can't legally talk about any diagnostic term. I can tell you what clients have experienced. I've seen clients go to their doctor and their doctor told them they were formerly osteopenic. Cool. I didn't say that.
Right.
They came in and reported that to me. We use the hair tissue mineral analysis. That's like a really critical part. All of these minerals are measured on the hair tissue mineral analysis. So if you're concerned about your bones, I'm going to encourage you to get a hold of us and let's measure what nutrients your body has available for bone health in a way that you've probably not done before. Hair tissue mineral analysis. Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Did I answer the question?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
Well, I guess what would the doses be?
Ooh, doses are very, very varied.
Yeah, depending on the severity and what stage you're in.
Yeah. Because so if I think back to a lady who was already into osteoporosis and was told that she was had delicate bones or something, not fragile bones, not delicate, some word like that. She was on 6 ostrophin. She was doing the powder calcifood, and it was 2 or 3 tablespoons a day. Cataplex C was like 6 a day. It was like very aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's just like, hey, I don't want to develop osteopenia. It's probably like 3. You do the wafers, do 3. Cataplex C, do 3. What's cool about that, it's not just helping with bone health, it's helping with joint health, your circulatory system, your immune system. Like, what a killer set of side effects, right? I'm trying to help my bones, and 9 other parts of me get benefited. That's my kind of side effect.
Yes.
How are we doing on time, Two Boots?
We are at 7:52.
Wow,
and
rolling.
There are no other questions rolling in, so I think you need to pull out Indy and
do our thing.
Do our thing.
All right, Saturday, the Muscle Testing Explained workshop, free to the public. We want you to show up. If you need to know our entire schedule of all of our workshops coming up, we had these fridge magnets come in. Yeah. Oh, that was the other fun thing I wanted to do.
Yeah.
On YouTube, during the break, we crested 400 subscribers. We are ecstatic about it. So if you're watching this live stream right now, while I'm jamming on Indy here, I want you to chat in the number 400. And the first person to chat in the number 400, I want you to call us, and we're going to get you a free supplement. Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for helping grow our YouTube channel and help our business, which means helping more people all around the world. So chat in 400. Use my trusty dusty guitar, who is going into the repair shop this week. So we got Indy tonight, and then we're going to have Levi back next week, the other blue guitar I have. Did somebody already chat?
Yes.
Who won?
Barb.
Barb?
Conrad.
Outstanding, Barb. Barb, I know your phone number. Next time you're in here for a consult or something, one of the bottles you go home with will be free. Okay. All right, I'm going to use my looper pedal and one of my new toys. Santa was very good to me this year. I must have not been on the naughty list for once. We'll see you next week, everybody.